All right, let's dive right into this. We are about to unpack some of the most powerful study tricks that for some reason just don't get talked about enough. This is all about getting way more out of the time you put in. Does this sound familiar? I mean, you've put in the hours, you've stared at the textbook, you are trying so hard, but the second you close the book, it's like it all just evaporates. It is one of the most frustrating feelings, and it's super common. Well, the good news is that's a problem we can absolutely fix. So we're going to break down 7 science-backed tricks that will help you learn smarter, not harder. But first things first, before we can build good habits, we have to tear down the bad ones. A lot of what we think is studying is actually just a massive waste of time. So let's start by busting 4 of the biggest myths out there. Okay, this one is probably the biggest time waster of them all, just mindlessly rereading your notes or the textbook. When you do that, your brain gets this false sense of confidence. It recognizes the words on the page, sure, but there's a huge difference between recognizing something and actually being able to recall it from scratch. So the solution is a total game changer: active recall. The key is you have to force your brain to actually work to pull that information out. So close the book. Try to explain the concept out loud. Write down everything you can remember. This is what actually forges those strong, lasting connections in your brain. Ah, yes, the great myth of multitasking. We all think we can do it, right? Study a little, scroll through social media, reply to a text, have a video playing in the background. But the hard truth is, your brain can't actually do that. It's just switching back and forth really, really fast. And every time it switches, you lose focus and the information just doesn't stick. And yeah, look at that number. Let it sink in. You could be cutting your retention in half. That means half of the effort you're putting in is just gone. It's a huge penalty to pay for a few small distractions. So here's the fix, and honestly, it's so simple. It's called focus blocks. You just pick one thing to work on. Just one. You set a timer for, say, 25 or 40 minutes. You put your phone on silent, better yet, put it in another room, and you just go. You'll be blown away by how much you get done when you give your brain that clarity. We've all done this. We get out our highlighters, and pretty soon the whole page is glowing with neon yellow and pink. It feels productive, right? But it's a trap. When you highlight everything, you're not actually making any decisions about what's important. And if everything is important, well, then nothing is. A much better way to do it is with this 2-step process. First, be ruthless. Highlight only the absolute most important keywords or phrases. But then, and this is the magic part, you rewrite those points in your own words. That forces your brain to actually process and understand the information, not just color it in. This one feels so wrong, but it's so right. Pulling an all-nighter feels like the ultimate sign of dedication, but you're actually working against your brain's biology. Your brain needs downtime, especially sleep, to move information from short-term memory into long-term storage. That whole process is called memory consolidation, and without breaks, it just doesn't happen. So you want to work with your brain, not fight it. And the Pomodoro technique is perfect for this. You study in a focused sprint for 25 minutes, then you take a real 5-minute break, like get up, walk around, stretch. After 4 of those cycles, take a longer 15 or 20-minute break. This keeps you fresh and literally lets your brain recharge its battery. Okay, now that we've cleared out all the bad habits that were holding you back, it's time to build a seriously powerful study system. These next 3 techniques are the kinds of things that separate the good students from the great ones. This might just be the single best way to test if you really know something. After you learn a new concept, try to teach it. Explain it out loud in the simplest terms possible to an imaginary person, your pet, whatever. You will instantly discover where you're confused, the exact gaps in your understanding. It's like a laser for finding your own weak spots.
You know, our brains are visual machines. We process images way, way faster than we process text. So use that. Give your brain a cheat code. Don't just write line after line of notes. Turn a chapter into a mind map. Draw a simple diagram for a complex process. Make a chart to compare ideas. Heck, even a silly doodle can help you remember a tough formula. It makes remembering things so much easier and frankly a lot more fun.
Now this one is really fascinating. Your brain subconsciously connects what you're learning to where you are, the lighting, the sounds, the chair you're in. By studying the same topic in a couple of different spots, like your bedroom, then a coffee shop, then the library, you give your brain more mental hooks for that information. This makes it way easier to pull up that memory during a test when you're in a totally new environment.
All right, so we've torn down the old, ineffective habits and built up some new, powerful ones. Now let's put it all together into your new game plan.
And here it is, your new toolkit, all in one place. You're going to stop just rereading and start practicing active recall. You're going to ditch multitasking and use focused work blocks. You'll highlight selectively. You will take strategic breaks to let your brain do its job. You'll solidify what you know by teaching it. You'll create visual hooks to make things stick. And you'll vary your environment to build stronger recall.
Look, knowing this stuff is one thing, but the real magic happens when you actually do it. So, just looking at this list, which one will you try first? Don't try to do them all at once. Just pick one. Master it this week. You'll already be way ahead of the game.